Radio Changela, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon. With the main news, I'm Justina, Matandiko, Mukuka. Kindly be informed that we are also streaming live on the Radio Changela Facebook page. The headlines: two juveniles die on the spot in an accident. World Toilet Day commemorated, and MISA calls on government to expedite the enactment of the Access to Information Bill into law. And other main news in detail. Two juveniles died on the spot in an accident which occurred yesterday around 17:30 hours at Catanino area along Ndola Highway. Involved was female adult Nangana Mututwa, aged 29, of Ghana Circle in Luansha, who was driving a Nissan Murano registration number BAG 7553 towards Luansha. The accident happened when the driver lost control of her motor vehicle and in the process went to hit three pedestrians who were walking along the road on the left side. The deceased have been identified as Bertha Moyo, aged 12, Gesho Moyo, aged 12, who died on the spot, and their bodies were deposited in Kapirimposhi District Hospital mortuary, while the injured has been identified as Mavis Moyo and is admitted to Kapiri District Hospital. The driver is yet to be charged with 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving. This is according to a media statement issued by police spokesperson Esther Mwata Katongo.
At about 17:30 hours along Dollar Highway. Involved was female adult Nangana Mukuka, aged 29, who was driving a motor vehicle registration number BAG 7553. The accident happened when the driver lost control of her motor vehicle and in the process went to hit 3 pedestrians who were walking off the road. The deceased have been identified as Beta Moyo, aged 12, and Gesho Moyo, also aged 12, who died on the spot, and their bodies were deposited in the Kapirimposhi District Hospital mortuary, while the injured has been identified as Mavis Moyo, and she is admitted to Kapiri District Hospital.
The National Water Supply Sanitation Council (NWASCO) has called for enhanced disposal of human waste. NWASCO Director Kelvin Chitumbo noted that unsafe and unsustainable disposal of human waste can lead to contamination of underground water resources, resulting in diarrhea diseases when consumed. Mr. Chitumbo said this in a statement to Radio Ichangelo News to mark today's commemoration of World Toilet Day under the theme Sustainable Sanitation and Climate Change. And Mr. Chitumbo said in line with today's theme, NWASCO is cognizant of the adverse climate change. I beg your pardon. And Mr. Chitumbo said in line with today's theme, NWASCO is cognizant of the adverse effects climate change poses on the existing sanitation systems, which impedes progress aimed at achieving access to adequate sanitation, mostly due to scarcity of water that comes with climate change.
For concerted efforts by all stakeholders to support and embrace the development of new technology that will ensure the safe containment, emptying, transportation, treatment, and disposal of human waste. If left unmanaged, the unsafe and unsustainable management of human waste would lead to the contamination of groundwater resources, which may result in diarrheal diseases when consumed. It is for this reason that NWASCO has developed the urban on-site sanitation and fecal sludge management regulatory frameworks, which were launched in 2018 in an effort to ensure that underground water resources and the environment in general are protected.
Meanwhile, Chingola District has joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Toilet Day under the theme Sustainable Sanitation and Climate Change. The event, which was held at Mushishima Community School, was organized by the Chingola Municipal Council and Mulunga Water and Sanitation Company Limited. Gracing the event, Chingola District Commissioner Agnes Tonga called for improved sanitation services. Ms. Tonga stressed that good hygiene and quality water are basic human rights which should be respected. She has also challenged the Chingola Municipal Council and Malonga Water Supply and Sanitation Limited to collaborate in ensuring that Chingola residents have acceptable sanitation services.
Without 30 managed sanitation and around 673 million people practice open infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of His Excellence, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Tagalogo, has prioritized issues of water and sanitation and has facilitated funding across the sector to ensure the poor and the vulnerable are not left behind.
And Mulonga Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited, board chairperson Emmanuel Sandy, explained that the company has embarked on various projects aimed at improving sanitation for residents in Chingola, Chilabombwe, and Mufulira districts.
Has taken a step forward by exerting more of its effort in improving sanitation services in the three towns where the company operates, and these are Chingola, Chilabombwe, and that of Mufulira. As a company, we recognize the importance of re-evaluation being part of management too, which is my only goal of them that enhances performance, efficiency, and effectiveness.
Residents of Chipata compound in Kitwe want Nkana Water to expeditiously work on the toilet constructions in the locality. Speaking to Radio Chengla News today, the residents charged that since they dug the sanitation pits for the construction of VIP toilets, Nkana Water has delayed in taking the materials to complete the project.
Nomamatiro tendikwana pakulisa so natukwata efirimbi nomutasaba nefureyiresi efirimbi tulina okugundwa n'okudirika n'abaana b'ensu mulamwe n'okakozinga mwenfu bantu bankana batulaire bino battabala enfikirishe fo batulaire aye naye anyuga twebera timbe n'efirimbi foto bakutotera bakutupangira amatoileeti nomba amatoileeti twayimbire mwalini mu juni twayimba juni july august n'amabricks twashita kyonse mukati bali tukulira bwino bwino nomba otuyanda twapa mulu tabala tukulira nomba ishikana itantanera fucha aba nesobalyo bayimbira mana ngifirinde abayimba bambita babakulira tababika muna kalakasira bwaka bashi bambira amablock tabakulira so abana kuki bafunana mu abana bafira mu yamaisa yaratamba nomugesa nkwatitena mukipata mu mwana abana n'abashikashani n'abafuyira tulakwa abantana wangu batukulira mukati n'otumayanda batwemekire atusakamane natutokera n'abatusakamana nomba tabala kwa mulimo matoilets twakwetekaale na matoilets batupele bankana wota ali okusano project yali amba kyakine nomba efiringi amasooka awe bakasanga tirimbi abaana bafuira mu masooka awe fira eddirika matiro nga yayisaire ekyepa limbi ndefu okukoka amabuloko yali 150 bampeera ku 100 so 100 yambye bako batiika ez'empoka baleeka okola so kyetulelomba kuba fyashuesu bankana mukwayi batubikireko bwangu amaiso olwotayala alemenena.
And Nkana Water Managing Director Diana Makwaba said the water utility company wants improved waste management. Ms. Makwaba said it was for the same reason that ventilated improved pits VIP toilets have been constructed in Chipata, Kwacha and Mindolo, among other townships.
Hotel a prepaid meter yafini mwasambaji tumweweni yamwepo kulabika mu 20 tabini mwasabe bino tusafiri. Yes, so sir, under the Water Supply and Sanitation Act of 1997, Section 10, water utilities are mandated to provide safe, clean water and good sanitation services, and as such, Nkana Water is mandated to provide these services to the people of Kitwe, Arushi, and Chambi.
Ms. Makwaba also disclosed that Nkana Water is improving water supply in Chipata by ensuring that the water is connected at each household. She said this in a speech read on her behalf by Cliff Buadia, Director, Engineering. And Kitwe District Principal Environmental Health Officer Christopher Gondwe said toilets are important in the in the prevention of possible outbreaks of diarrhea or diseases.
Sirula amalwele ayende makamaka amalwele yakolomya kwalula amalwele ayeza pamulanga okutira nti ankyendera bali obusaka bantu mwakwata amalwele bakolera lero abali twembaso netwembaso twetwenta bwino twalabona okutira nti twakingirira ayamalwele.
Speaking when he graced the commemoration, Kitwe Mayor Christopher Kangombe said government will ensure that the over 800 VIP toilets whose construction has begun in Sparta compound is complete before the 2021 general elections.
Ipendwa 823 tekifikudwe kukwabula obuteeko iyimisebo mulemuleyo tulekula musumba wa Kitwe tentikudwe kukwabula obuteeko bwa kyalo bafimbusu ifili 823 natukula efili 250 okufika palya panshi omulimu twashala nawena wakukwiyitisha ili emilimo nkibemba kitiina wakana okwera akana n'okwoca mwalibimbamu kale mulimu wakutungirira obuteeko tuleberayo okutiina efitulerayo leero ikyakukwisha efimbusu twalaba bakukwisha era tulefika ku my-election ya Neisa aya 2021 tukalati fesonta.
Mr. Zambia has called on the government to expedite the enactment of the Access to Information ATI bill into law. The government has pledged full support towards intentions by the Zambian media to operate under statutory self-regulation. Ms. Mwale observed that speedy enactment of the ATI bill into law would benefit every Zambian citizen, adding that the delay in enacting the bill was tantamount to hindering the free flow of information in the country. The Mr. Zambia chairperson noted that access to information will not only bring hope to the citizens but also help them build trust in the government and governance systems of the country. According to Mr. Zambia newsletter, the Zambian government has vowed to support the media's proposal to operate under statutory self-regulation. President Edgar Lungu noted that government would support statutory self-regulation through the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Services (MIBS) and the Ministry of Justice (MOG). This is according to a Ministry of Information Permanent Secretary Amos Mulupenga. In sports, the Football Association of Zambia FARS is threatening to take disciplinary action against Nkana, Green Buffaloes, and the soccer fan who behaved violently during yesterday's league match in Lusaka. A suspected Nkana fan yesterday physically attacked coach Manfred Chabinga on the bench during the game. Kalampa lost 5-0 to Buffaloes at Nkoloma Stadium. FARS General Secretary Adrian Kashala said the fan who breached security protocols will be found and handed to police for criminal trespass. Kashala added that the Green Buffaloes and Nkana will be summoned for possible sanctions over inadequate security and violent conduct, respectively. This is contained in a statement issued to Radio Chengala Sports by FARS spokesperson Sydney Wangala. This news broadcast comes during the community service of Radio Chengalo with compliments of Moose Milling and Zambia Catholic University. And now the international news as monitored from the BBC. Ethiopia has issued arrest warrants for 76 army officers accused of being linked to the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF). Forces loyal to that party are fighting the government in the restive Tigray region. Ethiopia's prime minister has said that his army is advancing on its capital Mekelle, according to BBC. Hundreds have reportedly died and tens of thousands have fled the area after 2 weeks of clashes. Verifying information from Tigray is hard because of a blackout in most communications. And finally, there is credible evidence that Australian elite soldiers unlawfully killed 39 people during the Afghan war, a long-awaited report has found. According to BBC, the Australian Defence Force, ADF, has released findings from a 4-year inquiry into misconduct by its forces. It said 19 current or ex-Special Forces soldiers should be investigated by police over killings of prisoners, farmers, or civilians in 2009 to 2013. The ADF blamed crimes on the unchecked warrior culture among some soldiers. And that item brings us to the end of our main news. We take a look at the stories that made headlines. Two juveniles die on the spot in an accident. World Toilet Day commemorated, and MISA calls on government to expedite the enactment of the Access to Information Bill into law. Friends, for these and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page. Log on to Facebook and like the Radio Ichengelo page and link to radioichengelo.radio12345.com. You can still listen to the rebroadcast of our news on our YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on Radio Garden. Remember to play your part in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic by adhering to the safety guidelines as outlined by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization. Wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain social distance, avoid unnecessary movements, and wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. Always remember to cover your cough or sneeze with a flexed elbow, handkerchief, or tissue. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Justina Matandiko. Mukuka. Have a wonderful afternoon.